We're back, guys. We're back. We're back. We are back, guys. You walk in. Please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to Cal Culture Radio. Hakeem, Jordan, what's cracking like? What's cracking like? What is cracking like?
Just chilling, man. Ready to work.
Hey man, feeling good, feeling great. It's Friday. We about to get it in as we always do. Shout out to everybody who's watching us. We appreciate y'all so much as we do. So let's go, let's get it.
Now, shout out to everybody that's watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. It's so very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this Freestyle Friday. Like it is, it's Friday, it's wind down. People are having a good time. You know how we get down each and every Friday. So that being said, going on to financial news. Jordan, what's happening when it comes to the aspect of financial news? Now that shout out to Just Jay that's in the building. Go right ahead.
Shout out to Just Jay.
We see her a long time in the chat. We love you. We appreciate you being in the chat, Just Jay. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the housing market. Since the tariffs is starting off, with the tariffs war with China. And Mike also be with deals and everything. Let's talk about what's the how he's looking at the house market as we speak. So it's going to be real estate expert talk about on Fox Business. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
We really need a real estate expert. Do you know what I mean?
Do we find one?
Yes, we've got one. He's sitting next to you, as a matter of fact. I've got this new study.
Welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome. And it shows renting in major cities has become more affordable than buying a home and paying a mortgage. Noble Black is with us. He's a partner and founder at Douglas Elliman. Why the shift?
Why are the rents so high, you mean?
No, why is it more expensive to buy a home than to rent one?
Look, the cost of the homes have gone up. The insurance associated with that has gone up. If you're looking in New York, the maintenance fee that's associated with that has gone up. There's a lot of factors that have gone into that. But if you look back over the last 5, 10, even 20, 30 years, it's just only gone up. The thing about these articles about it being less expensive to rent versus sell is that's going to keep being the case, right? So if you're going to be in a place for a while, you need to get in at some point because it's just going to get more and more out of reach.
Okay, so if your intention is to buy eventually, it might make sense to rent for the first year.
Yeah, I mean, look at the individual. If somebody's new to an area, if they're not sure of the neighborhood they want to be in, there's certain reasons that make sense to rent. Certainly if you're saving money for a down payment. If you don't, a lot of these prices are so high, you can't do it without help, right? So there's valid reasons for renting. But if you're just looking at the fact that my monthly outlay is less for rent than for sell, it's probably not the best only judge.
When tariffs were first talked about, I think you thought that when we get these tariffs, business would be difficult, shall we say. But the exact opposite is true, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's continued. And that's been, frankly, really surprising for us. We all did. We were holding our breath, expecting that the market would kind of freeze. Anecdotally, there's been a couple people that did catch a breath. We had a townhouse seller that was going to list. He called us the day after, said, you know what, I want to wait. I'm too nervous. He called yesterday. He's coming back into the market. So there's been a few anecdotes of people, again, kind of pausing. But overall, the numbers have held up incredibly well.
I've been taking some money out of stocks and putting it into real estate.
Yeah. There's people doing that.
To you, that's a very smart move.
I love that. Right. Very wise man.
Oh, you're right. This is from Zillow. They found that in more than 200 cities, starter homes, whatever that is, starter homes now cost $1 million. That tells me, now, how many youngsters can afford that? Sure, they're going to need parental help, are they?
Yeah. I mean, look, New York has long been the case, and it's only getting worse, that unless you are probably middle-aged or unless you have family help, you're not buying anything here, right? Like, it's so out of reach for so many people. And again, it's just getting worse. And we all know we have an affordability crisis. It doesn't seem like anyone's actually getting anything done on that. Certainly the tariffs are not going to make that easier. So at some point, I mean, I think with Trump being in office, with Republicans holding both houses, there's a chance for some real progress on that. But it's something that's desperately needed. I mean, it's very hard to make that first purchase if you're doing it on your own.
Your business is really strong in New York City, despite all New York City's problems.
We've had so far the best start in a year since I've been doing it. We were really surprisingly very busy starting in August, and that has continued. So knock on wood, hopefully there's some settlements and some deals announced very quickly, and then I think we're going to have an incredible spring and summer.
Then you're off to the races.
Exactly.
I hope you are too. Conrad, Noel Blank, thanks for joining us.
Thank you
very much.
Yeah, so there you have it.
How bad are things in Florida from a real estate?
He said how renting is more affordable than mortgage as we speak in some areas of the cities, and also some startup homes are hitting almost $1 million, which are in most major cities, like here in Los Angeles, or even some Florida, particularly big cities. That brings in when you start up home, they go average close to $1 million, which we're in 2025 and everything, and a lot of stuff is expensive. So go ahead, Ronnie. What's your take on how the housing market is for 2025?
Now people got to realize the reason why the market housing is so extremely high because there's not enough homes. So a lot of people that are trying to buy a home is unable to find a home because they're getting bid out by other people because there's not enough homes. So therefore, people are going to rent. People are going to rent more and focus more on renting than actually becoming home ownership. So for that to stop happening, they got to create more homes so people can buy more homes. When I say create more homes, I mean the bankers needs to find a way to create more of these homes. So if you like, for example, if you live in the Miami area like me and Hakeem does, you can see right now, majority of the things that's being built are condominiums.
Yep.
Not houses. So therefore, they're letting people know that, hey, you might not be able to get a house, but you're able to rent. So that's why people mindset is on renting and not on buying. Would that change in the near future? I'm being honest. Probably not in Miami, but in other areas, yes. But right now, if you're trying to buy a home, it's going to be extremely hard because not enough homes. So go right ahead, Hakeem. Your commentary.
Another thing we got to take into account is this. I don't want people to think the tariffs has gotten us here. This was going to happen regardless.
Mm-hmm.
There's always been a shift generation to generation. We've seen it happen in 2008. We've seen it happen in the 90s. The market go up, the market collapse. So we're just in a different space where I don't want to say the word, but the jab and that sickness accelerated this. So a lot of people are being priced out. You're being priced out of cities. It's just common fact that Houston, Atlanta, Miami, New York City, Boston, like these are the major places. And it's going to cost $1 million, 400, 500,000. And you know what I mean? A lot of people are now, it's going to be the shift. A lot of people are going to now moving towards to the suburbs and residing there because it's going to be more affordable.
Yeah, and I agree with y'all, both of y'all 100%. And for your take, Ronnie, I don't think it's going to change. I'm seeing it here, a lot of condominiums here in Los Angeles. They're still building. When I was in Detroit on my vacation, my daughter's birthday, while we were around Detroit area, they're still building condominiums. When I went to Atlanta for my father-in-law's funeral, checked out downtown a little bit. They're building condominiums. So when it comes to these major cities, when it comes to houses and everything, there's going to be about at least $1 million of these homes that we're going to see, startup homes, which are building and everything. So it's more likely that people, who wants to, have the ability to afford homes is to get out to the suburbs and see what they got out of the suburbs and everything. Because, just seeing how, while I'm here in Los Angeles, that, they just build and build. It's like, talk to my wife about it, say, hey, let's look at, 510 or set in the Sandbed, area in the Empire, which is like an hour away from Los Angeles and everything, which will still be close we'll still be close in the area because, there's still jobs out here in the city. But yeah, look at how the house market is moving. Like it's like people that if they want to have homes in big cities, it's more likely that, you're not going to afford it unless you are a millionaire or you make high six figures at some point in such sports. But, just people just follow how, just follow how don't be afraid that they're pricing you out of these cities. People can make hot six figures. I understand that, but like I said, if you look over to the suburbs and everything, that's like and really do your research of how can look at certain cities that people are kind of migrating to and see how much houses are, because even though California here is very, very expensive, I look in the outside the outskirts and everything outside Los Angeles, there are some houses that there is ability for a single family household. So people, don't be afraid about having to change that cities are pricing you out. It's okay, it's fine. Just make sure if you want to look at other suburbs, that would take you. If you look at homes, it's totally fine that if I got to move out of the city to go to a suburbs and it's affordable, it's fine. And also, if you have a family, it's better for your family, because if you live in the city, it's not really the best to raise your family in the city. Move up to a suburbs, it's nice and quiet. That's to me, that's the best thing about raising a family.
Facts. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board: Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. It's so very important for you guys to follow, so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Moving along to sports. Jordan, yesterday was the NFL draft. So what's happening? What's going on with the NFL draft, big dog?
Let's get into it. So it's one of the best times of the year. When football's not here, we got the NFL draft. So we the first round of the draft, has been done, and there's two things that that kind of caught our eye. One is that Cleveland has traded with Jacksonville. They got the number two pick to draft Travis Hunter. People think he's the best player in the draft, and also that Shedeur Sanders was not drafted in the first round. He was not drafted in the first round. And a lot of people are surprised or shocked about him not being drafted in the first round. So Go Hakeem played the Travis Hunter first, the Shedeur Sanders, and then there's a link I sent you of the draft, the first round draft picks.
Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado. The Jacksonville Jaguars select.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary. Ooh.
You're on mute.
Hold on, go up a little bit, Hakeem, and go to the on the top where it says best available. Hit the rounds. It'll show the team. Go down a little bit.
Okay.
No. Go back. Get out. You see how what it says? It's highlighted best available. On your left, where it says teams and everything.
Oh, I don't see.
No. Go up a little bit. Yeah. Go to rounds. Yeah, go hit the rounds.
Okay.
It'll show the team. So so there it is. So this is go to the first round. Yep. So here's all the teams that they picked their players and everything. As you see, Cam Ward was picked first round, and Travis Hunter was picked the second round. But go ahead, Ronnie. What's your take on the draft? Are you happy with for your team, who they drafted, and also with the Shedeur Sanders situation?
No, but I'm happy for Cam Ward. That's the number one thing. He's a UM bound. I told y'all he was supposed to win that Heisman, but because he was not the most popular player when it came to aspect online, they didn't give it to him. But look, he got picked first round. No offense to Sanders. However, he is also a great quarterback as well. But everybody thought he was going to get the first #1 pick, and he did not. Matter of fact, he didn't even get picked at all. However, I give this guy a lot of credit. He have a bright future ahead of him because the way he handled the media was right on spot. Like even though you didn't get picked, you could be the last one to get picked. Doesn't mean you're not gonna be great. You could be the first one and don't even play at all. So even though he was not the first one picked, he still had potential, and I think a team's gonna get him now. But not even Travis Hunter when he did his press conference. I think he got picked for the Jaguars. He waited, paused for a few minutes, and when they announced his name, Mr. Sanders, and he knows that New Orleans Saints didn't get him. He was shocked because everybody thought he was going to be the next one to get picked, and he wasn't. So at the end of the day, I'm happy with the 49 with the pick that we got. Things are going good. I can't wait for the NFL draft to start. Go right ahead. I'm not draft, but the NFL season to start. Go right ahead.
I'm gonna have to agree with your take. I think I was banking on Cam Ward. I'm happy he went to Tennessee. He is from Tennessee, so they brought him back home. I'm happy with our boy Hunter going back to Florida, Duval County. There's a lot of things about the Shador situation I think we're unaware of. They said he didn't show up for something, and they say he's kind of, and this is just speculation. I don't know. They say he was kind of difficult to deal with. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is like he has a big dookie chain on. He's already looked like he's already went pro. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if his arrogance might play an issue. Everybody else I've seen has been very humble, very thankful, very giving. You know what I mean? So we'll see where that goes from there.
Yeah, when it comes to the draft, it was obvious, as Tennessee was saying it for 2 weeks that they wasn't gonna do look at the other players. Once they talked to Cam Ward, that he was the one. So not surprised that Cam Ward was the pick. I was surprised that Jacksonville swapped from Jacksonville to swap from 5 to 2 to get Travis Hunter, but Cleveland they did a good thing because Cleveland they got more draft picks for this draft, and also they got a first round pick next year. But yes, I think Travis Hunter he's going to be really good for Jacksonville. When it comes to Shador Sanders, like I said, it's been talking about this for weeks. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick to a top 10 pick to a top 20 pick, and now a couple of days ago they say he might be pushed out the first round. And and the teams that that needed quarterbacks that they was going to get, that I thought he was going to get drafted from was Cleveland, New York, Pittsburgh, and New Orleans. And all 4 of those teams passed on them, and maybe one of those teams was going to pick them up today because the draft just started. But when it comes to Shador, there's been plenty of other great quarterbacks who's been drafted, in the later rounds. Brock Purdy, Tom Brady, and Joe Montana. Great quarterbacks has been drafted in later rounds. So this is, it's not going to hurt. I think it's going to bring more of a fire. That one of the teams that drafted him, that he's going to show up for the NFL season. And then also for my team, the Detroit Lions, for us, I'm happy for our pick. We got a defensive tackle from Ohio State. It kind of helps us in our defensive line that we needed. For that, so I'm with you, Ryan. I can't wait till the season starts. And then I know the NFL schedule is going to come out May 14th. So be ready, you guys. May 14th, once we talk about sports, we will announce it here. We'll talk about when the schedules come out for the 2025 NFL season.
Now that, but shout out to Mimi that's also in the building. Co-host of the Shiesty Adventure is in the building. Now that shout out to Albie Waters is also in the building. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys tuning in on this Freestyle Friday. Moving on to hip-hop. Jordan, what's happening when it comes to the aspect of hip-hop news?
Let's go. Let's get into it. So Birdman was on Nick Cannon's podcast, Cannon's Class. And, one of the topics that he's talking about, it was kind of viral, was that how, some artists that was with Cash Money Records, you know, they was kind of upset at him because, you know, because they never made it to like a Nicki Minaj or Drake or Lil Wayne hotspot. And they kind of it says like every rapper that left Cash Money was never successful without him. And he said it ends up coming right back to them. So go ahead, Clean. Go ahead and play the clip. And then after that, we'll chop it up.
Y'all was grinding independently all the way up for 7 years.
7, 8 years in the game. I started my record label at 15.
Wow. And y'all was doing bounce music. It was the New Orleans bounce. And you wasn't rapping yet, right? You was nah. So you was funding it.
I always was into making rappers. I never wanted to rap. I just happened to rap because I had young niggas who was like really was nervous about shit. So I used to just grab a mic and
he's like, nigga, this how you do it.
And them niggas.
Yeah. So like really on some Eazy-E shit where you was really living the life that they was rapping about.
I used to tell them what to rap about.
Right.
All through the highball days. That's all was my life, man.
Yeah.
My brother and them.
Yeah. So we go through, and then from my understanding, real life shit happened even when y'all was on the grind early on in Cash Money. And what the first few rappers that you signed, they no longer with us.
I done been through that shit 4 or 5 times. Nigga, we have something, nigga leave, nigga. You
right.
Know?
And then and so like you said, those, and when I say like those rappers, you know, God rest their soul, like they lost their life to the streets, most of them, right?
You know, some of them, but some of them still here. The weirdest shit about that, right? When I look back and I play it back, I've been doing this shit for Universal 25 summers, right?
Yeah.
And every nigga left me was never successful without me. I look at all them careers, and I love them. They like, I brought them in the game.
Yeah.
Every nigga. Like, you hear me? I got nothing but respect for them. I'm not ever speaking negative on now one of them because I ain't built like that.
Yeah.
But I studied this game. Every one of them left me, never been successful without me.
That's powerful. And let's talk about that for a second, because I always, you know, want to tap into a mogul's mindset because it's happened to me quite a bit too. When you go out your way, you put somebody on, take bread out your pocket, provide for them, help them provide for their family. But because for whatever reason, they hustle ain't right, or they work ethic ain't where it needs to be to become a star, to really get to it, it doesn't work out. And then they want to blame you, the dude that put them on, or they want to start talking about, you know, oh, Nick took the money, or baby, you know what I mean? Like, it is like, yo, I brought you up from out the mud, and I got way more money than you. Why would I want to take from you? I want to see you win, but you get these stories from even the ones who probably never really made it, or even the people that might have got on, but just didn't have the intellect to succeed like some of these other people. How do you address that?
My situation was a little different because there was little niggas that I raised, right?
Right.
I always wanted to see the best for them.
Yeah.
But sometimes us as black people, we'll take the motherfucker, give us the hardship. There's something that go on every day in the music business,
right? With
a lot of companies.
And it ain't the black people that.
And another thing, Cash Money got a face to it. So anything be said about Cash Money is going straight Birdman. Like
Birdman did that.
But these other labels don't have a face to them, and
you can blame Sony, you can blame
but you ain't gonna hear the negative with that.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna hear no nigga on the blogs and all that other goofy shit saying nothing negative about these people, but got a major problem with them. You hear me? Shit ain't going right, but as soon as it's on the other side, a nigga gonna play it how a nigga gonna play it. But I can respect it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know I'm built for this shit. I know how to overcome it, override.
I mean, you made a great point. Like, ain't nobody actually succeeded, you know, once they left Cash Money. And then, like you said, ultimately they come back.
Facts. That's big facts.
Yeah.
All of them that the situation have had all that shit in perspective.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to do it without them because I got so much respect for them. I practically raised him.
Yeah.
I brought him in this game, so I would like to always see him be successful in a game that we chose that is so motherfucking hard.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, all you gotta do is try.
Facts.
Start your motherfucking record label and you're gonna see how real this shit really is.
Real talk. So y'all was grinding independently all the way.
just that was funny what she said. Yeah, he from deep. He from New Orleans, baby. He from New Orleans. But go ahead, Hakeem. Go. What's your take? What Burton said about you?
So I'll be quick about this. There's a lot that he's saying that is very disingenuous. Lots of the artists, he didn't put money behind them. You can't just release a single and think somebody's going to automatically blow up. And let's be real about it. When he say none of them have been successful, a lot of these artists didn't have artist development, and a lot of them wasn't stars. Out of a roster of 35, you might get 5 artists that might blow the label up. It's 5 artists that pay for all the bills. Now, mind you, in Cash Money, they only had 1 artist that was successful, which was Wayne. You can't factor in Drake, Nicki, because they was under Young Money. They was discovered under Young Money and under that. So when you look at that, you have many record labels like that. You could sign 30 artists. Only 3 or maybe 1 would be a superstar. 2 might give you 2 singles. So a lot of them just wasn't talented like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying a lot of them didn't have their drive to keep going, but their music didn't work well.
And now that one thing he spoke about, which I think people fail to realize, creating a record label, especially at the age of 15, is very, very difficult. And now you have to be in that game till all the way till you're 22 when you finally got established. Then you start getting the right people to build a strong empire at like Cash Money. You know, you got to command a guy like that. And I always tell people it's a hustle. It's a hustle when you try to be on top, this quote unquote top everybody talks about. It's late night grinding. You got to find the right people. You got, like you said, Hakeem, he didn't do all his development because he was focused on building an empire. He didn't have time to focus on these artists. That's why it was not a lot of big name artists except Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, he even said he was his prime and jewel. It was the golden goose. He made sure Lil Wayne was well protected because he knew he was bringing in the most revenue. At the end of the day, Birdman failed in the aspect of not developing his artists, not able to mentor, coach them, and show them the realization of how hard this industry and how dominant this industry could be. He should have learned from P. Diddy. I don't know why people don't learn from P. Diddy, even though P. Diddy is a shyster when it comes to certain things. At the end of the day, P. Diddy is kind of like the godfather when it comes to artist development. He developed a lot of artists. So that's one thing he did. He fell in that. But his hustle game, I can't knock him. He do have a strong hustle game.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you guys 100%. When it comes to developing artists, you know, I think see like there's some record labels like his. They just don't have a patience to build something. They feel like, you know, if you have the talent, it should be there. You know, if I see you got talent, it should comes all out like that. But that's not the case. You know, you have to really develop your skills to get what you give. To get what you could build. I give you one good example. Let's talk about Gorilla. At the time when she came out, you know, she came out good, but you know, when I saw Gorilla, I know, you know, she had talent, but I thought she wasn't gonna be what she is today. But she put her work in with the label with what's the
CMG.
CMG, yes. You know, I could see, well, even though that's one, but you can see how, you know, they put a development in Gorilla, and now she's a big superstar right now. And the thing is, now we're in a time where, you know, we have social media and everything. To me, a lot of record labels, they don't look for artists to see talent development more. It's either you got it or not, because a lot of these rappers, you know, they have YouTube pages, you know, all over social media, Instagram, TikTok. You know, if they produce the numbers on their independent social media and everything, record labels are okay, cool. You know, if you're making numbers, you'll make number for us and everything. And if they don't reveal the same numbers that you see on your social media that it does for the record label, they'll just cut you off and find something new. So now we in a new type of game that, you know, if you look good on social media and when we signed you, and you give us the same numbers or plus more, you're gonna save in long term. But if not, they'll find somebody else because there's a lot more artists, a lot more rappers that we ever had before, entertainers that we ever had before because of social media, and they'll just pick and choose because that's the where we at right now in 2025. So there you go.
That's what it is. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow so you never miss it when we go live. And shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. You guys already know it's Freestyle Friday. Anything goes. So that being said, go ahead, Jordan. When it comes to trending news.
All right, let's talk about the main topic. So there's been some more stuff coming off from Shannon Sharpe. So I don't have a picture. I don't have the video. I can't show the picture. So Shannon Sharpe, ex-girlfriend, spoke about this, and she alleges that when it comes to Shannon Sharpe, she said, "I want people to understand what Shannon Sharpe did to this woman. That was horrifying and everything because there was." A lawsuit back with Shannon Sharpe back in 2023 of the situation. But the thing is, I also found this gentleman. I also found that let me put it up here. It is that Shannon Sharpe ex-girlfriend. This came from Shannon Sharpe attorneys. So the statement is claiming that his ex-girlfriend, what was her name, Michelle, was obsessed with him, and right now. She is still on probation after serving 3 years in prison to try to kill her husband so that she could pursue a relationship with Shannon Sharpe. So that came from Shannon Sharpe attorneys and everything. So even though the ex is trying to speak against Shannon Sharpe, she got some skeletons in her back of the story because he's trying to take out her husband while dating Shannon Sharpe. So it looks like people that we might, even though there's an open wound for Shannon Sharpe, we're saying that more stuff come out, and it's more likely that we might hear more allegations from Shannon Sharpe past might be coming out as we heard today with Shannon Sharpe ex-girlfriend. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take on this?
That's exactly what's gonna happen. And I told Hakeem that on the previous show, because he was trying to settle the $10 million. Now a lot of these women gonna come out forward and they're like, okay, I see this is a money opportunity. They're gonna go see Tony Busby. And they're going to try to put cases on him all over the place. That's why I think now it was the best thing for him to actually do step down from ESPN because more allegations are going to start coming out. And it's sad to say that we live in a world like that you can't focus on one thing, that when you try to focus on one thing, other things start to happen while you're trying to focus on that one thing. Shannon Sharpe made a terrible mistake. Everybody already knew by by dating that woman. A young woman at that. I think he's going to learn from this situation, but his past is going to come back to haunt him. Sadly to say. Will he win this case against this young lady? Yes. I think he's going to win victorious because the lady don't have enough resources to even battle against Shannon Sharpe. However, other allegations are going to start coming out. And I'm sorry to say, I don't know if he's going to be able to get that $100 million deal. That's the problem.
That's over with. That's done. That's done. You're going to have to rebuild. He still got Shay. He still got Nightcap. But Ron, you dropped a quote last show. You stated this. We all stated, you mentioned what I said previously. This would have never happened if he was married.
Correct.
This would have never happened if he practiced discipline. This would have never happened. It doesn't matter if he was bunny hopping. Let's just be honest about that. This could have happened with any woman. You feel me? When you're a powerful man and you're making money, your image, the way you speak, you're a public figure, you can jeopardize the bag at any moment. You got to keep yourself. This is why having a strong woman on your team will stop you from getting caught up with these Instagram models, snow bunnies, harlequins, these Iron Maidens, you know what I mean, stuff like that. If he was married and stayed with his baby mama, we wouldn't be hearing about this. When the last time you heard something about Denzel? Vin Diesel, J. Cole, Wale. I can go. There's names. There's names of dudes who lock it tight and just say, man, I'm good. I got me a queen. I don't need nothing else. It's not all that serious. You don't got to bust a grape or a bust a cherry in everybody.
Yeah. It's when it comes to him being in professional television, it's not really looking good for Shannon Sharpe. Even though he stepped away from ESPN, I don't think, if more stuff come out, I don't think he's going to come back. That he's going to come back to First Take. He said that he might come back when the season starts, but it's just not looking good because if you look at the history of how he left certain situation, when he was in FS1 with Undisputed, that he got allegedly fired because the situation that happened with the Lakers game with last year with John. It was like early last year with John Morant, going at John Morant, the Grizzlies team, and also John's father and everything, which FS1 looked at that terribly, and that's why the reason to let him go. And then before that, he was CBS Sports. I think it's CBS Sports NFL countdown. This was back, like 10, 15 years ago and everything. And they had I don't know why they let him go, but they had let him go as well. It's just, what it shows, like, being, Hakeem said, being a powerful man, you build Nightcap, you build, Club Shake Shape, because you're a great entertainer, Shannon. I like you, and he's coming here Los Angeles in July, the Nightcap, because they're doing a tour, and I'm going to see him. But, and also the stuff that he says about, that I like becomes relationships and everything. A lot of people's not gonna listen to him because we can't take him seriously, Shannon, because of stuff that's coming out with you, with this woman and everything, and it's just not a good look for Shannon when it comes to him being professional television and everything. And he just need to be wise. He's almost 60 years old. He has 2 hip replacements and everything. And like I say, he's a Hall of Famer. One of the best times who ever played a game. He just has to be smart with it and everything. And when it comes to this, I think he's going to settle with the woman because it's likely a little bit more stuff to come out. We found out that he likes BDSD sex or something like that, which is like bondage and all that type of things. we found that out, so we know about that. And we hopefully another woman don't come out and say, hey, Shannon was like this. Hopefully Michelle don't come out and all that type of things because, like I said, I like Shannon Sharpe. I think he's a really good entertainer, but it's just not a good look that, you messing with these women, and you're doing, and then reading the text messages of what you're kind of doing with these women, even though it was consensual. They could turn it back on it and go to Tony Bus and say, hey, he did this to me and everything. And they got, the recordings and they got the text messages and everything. And the alleged video that's supposed to be out too, that they might come out in the next week or so, something like that. But yeah, man. So Shannon, man, please do right. You lost your money. You lost $100 million deal. I mean, you didn't lose your podcast and everything. You still got that. Both of those make about over $1 million a year of the podcast you got. So correct. Shannon, man, just build what you continuing to build. You got the fan base. A lot of people loves you and everything. Just don't get any more situations. Get married. That's what I got to say. You get married, you won't be in this situation. But if you're going to keep doing what you're doing, a lot more stuff going to come out like this.
So the problem with because Judge Jay say because I say he's gonna become victorious out of this case. She said nah, she disagreed with that. The thing is, he have the power of attorney. One thing about these wealthy men, when you have a power of attorney and they know the other counterpart, the defendant, don't have a power of attorney, chances are you're gonna lose. To me, for her to be victorious, she should have just went ahead and settled when he offered the $10 million. Tony Busby would have got 30%. Shout out to DJ Vlad. He wrote that on his Twitter. Pretty much he broke down everything. Tony Busby would have got 30% of that, and she would have walked out with $7 million. Now she got to deal with the lawyer fee, and she got to deal when Shannon Sharpe kind of sued because she just pretty much discriminated his character.
I mean, and that's the thing about being greedy and everything. We see that Shannon Sharpe's getting
she should have settled
a deal, but my thing is, ma'am, all the information you came out, we're not taking it seriously, man, because you have sex with this man over 100 times. Even though he said he was doing the things, you kept going back. You kept going back. You kept
Yeah,
going
because
back.
the lifestyle, people don't understand the BDSM lifestyle. I did some research about it. It's called submissive and the master. All those other
Right.
things come to aspect when it comes to BDSM. That's why I say he's gonna win because
Exactly.
they know it's a lifestyle, and she made it seem like it was such a vicious thing. I don't know, but he did lose that. I don't know how came he did lose that $100 million deal. He didn't really speak about it, but right now it's on the hush hush. But Jordan might be right. He must have lost the $100 million deal. Sadly to say. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this Freestyle Friday. Moving along to more trending topics. Go right ahead, Jordan.
Okay, let's talk about this one. This just came out. So, former Turkey Leg Hut owner, co-owner who had the Turkey Leg and it closed down, he has been indicted on federal charges in connection with the 2020 fire explosion that happened in his restaurant. So go ahead, I can play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
In the explosion of Bar 5015 5 years ago that was caught on camera, that popular spot blew up 5 years ago, scattering debris all over the place.
Yeah, and this afternoon, 3 arrests in this case, including the former owner of the embattled Turkey Leg Hut. Lynn Price is accused of paying people to send that bar up in flames.
Price and his alleged accomplices appearing in federal court in the last 2 hours. Jason Miles live there with the latest details. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, I just got word that Lynn Price will be held in federal custody until a detention hearing next Thursday. Meanwhile, 2 alleged accomplices heard charges against them.
Major development in the explosion of Bar 5015 5 years ago that was caught.
Yeah, man, this just came out, and he does own a restaurant. I forgot he does own another restaurant in Houston. I forgot what's it's called and everything, but yeah, man. Even though it's been 5 years ago, the feds, they do not play. Once they get they do their due diligence, they gonna get you. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take?
Yeah, when it comes to the turkey leg owner, the thing a lot of people try to realize, a lot of these owners do that so they get their insurance money. They set their restaurants on fire so they get their insurance money so they can invest in other restaurants. That's what they do. So he got away with it for a very long time, but then he finally got caught. During the pandemic, remember, everybody's mind was more focused on shutting things down, getting PPP loans, and all other things that was happening during the pandemic. So he thought it was a great opportunity to go and utilize that, which he did, and they just finally got him. One thing about the feds, people fail to realize, they're going to get you. You think the Fed ain't watching, they always watching. Everything. Go right ahead, Kim.
This is typical YN behavior, and he's an old man. You call somebody to burn. Shout out to Next Level in the building. Baby, where you been? We miss you. This is typical stuff that we do in our communities. After we mishandled the business, we say, hey, we'll just burn it to a flame, collect the insurance money, like you say. Instead of trying to figuring out what he did wrong with the business, where to do cuts at, not buy lavish cars, because they were driving Mercedes Benzes, and they was borrowing money from that gospel singer who loaned them $1 million. You remember we did that segment on that, and they still haven't got their money. They took them to church. They just was bad business people. They had a great concept, bad business people, and they overcharged a lot of people. The food was expensive. $50. I had a friend who went there. They said they paid $50 for a plate. $50. This is not gourmet cooking. You slanging turkey legs, for heaven's sake.
I don't know, man. My girlfriend told me about that turkey leg, man. It depends on where you go at. It depends, I can't.
Yeah.
I'll spend that $50 if it's that good.
No, and I get you, but sometimes let's be real about it. Our people overcharge people to try to get richer quicker so they can go get Mercedes Benzes, Amiri jeans, Chrome Hearts, and end up broke. He's broke now. There's nothing. He has no money. And mind you, Next Level, I think Next Level being Houston, I was hearing that they was charging gourmet prices.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, but shout out to a lot of these food critics that's on YouTube and TikTok, because they go to these restaurants and they let you know if it's, if it's good or not, or it's is this the price you pay? Is it a price worth it and everything? But yeah, going back to the owner, yeah, man, like I'm looking at pictures right now. Like, come on, yo, come on, it looks obvious and everything. They got somebody with a hood on a hood. You got people wearing face masks and everything. It just looks like, yo, it's like they was gonna get caught and everything. So, but yeah, man, this is terrible, man. It's things that you got to go to that far to try to burn down a place just get some insurance money, because you don't know how to properly run a business and everything, and for that, if you do a crime like that, you definitely got to do the time, man. You definitely got to do the time. So I don't feel sorry for this man, if he did this and everything. And I think that's like 3 counts against him, and then he could swerve, and it looks like he could serve with these counts. He could serve up to 20 years in prisons and everything. So hopefully he better be looking to, hey, get a plea deal or something like that, because they got the videos and everything, and also if they got text messages where you try to get payments and everything. Yeah, man, you done.
Hey, yo, also remember this. Let's not forget, he has to pay that money back.
Yeah,
correct.
Restitution. And look what Next Level said. Yeah, I'm from Houston. Next Levels are Houston, a Houston person. He said, I was rocking with them when they were selling turkey legs for $10. Then it went from 25 to 50. For heaven's sake.
Yeah, it became a hot commodity. Especially during the time of the pandemic. Remember, people was overeating because they was home.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to make money. I'm not gonna lie to you. I even told a lot of people that was cooking. I said, hey, right now it's good to do like if you cook really good, get a cooking business right now, because I think it was hot. Food truck, all that was hot. Now everything's back to normal, somewhat back to normal again. People not eating like turkey leg like they used to, so that's why people are complaining. But he got caught.
He did. Next Level said he has the oyster hut now.
But no way, he got caught. So he I don't know how you gonna win this case, man. Now that, shout out to Sugar Bum that's also in the building. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board: Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch, guys. Make sure you follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Moving along to more trending news.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about Young Thug. So Young Thug had done an interview, and when they had questions about Young Gunna, he had really avoided the questions and about where he stands with Gunna. So go ahead, I can't play the clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
Like that, I just like to help people,
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah. I know everybody wonder that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
I guess that's his own form of answer, huh?
You like to plow?
I do, absolutely.
Deep into things.
Yeah. I'm a pro.
And stuff like that. I just
At least he kept it real. He gonna answer that question.
Yeah, he said, how's your relationship? He's like, I don't know. Go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take?
Yeah, he not gonna tell you guys the status of the relationship, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he spoke with his, after he got exonerated, I think he talked about how he still want to do work with him. I could be wrong, but I remember he saying that he still want to do work with him, but they will not be in the same vicinity. So I think they do probably have a song coming out, but that brotherly love they had before, I don't think it's there anymore. I think that's long and gone. But glad to see him that he's out and he's actually doing interviews, because everybody was like, what's going on with Young Thug? He's been quiet for a very long time. So he's doing his thing, Hakeem, as you can see. But right here, big.
Mhm. Brothers, I look at this and I could say that me being from the streets and me being just a friend, and he feels betrayed. He feels betrayed. And if you look at the docket and what Gunna said, a meaning to that, a lot of people want to play it cool, but let's be honest, what Gunna did somewhat made it harder for him to get out. You know what I mean? He needed to stand tall and took it like a chin. You're in a gang now, Gunner. Slime Life, it's a gang. We put money, we made you millions of dollars. You were supposed to go to prison with us. That's what it's all about. And Gunner was like, I'm not going to prison. I'm not going. So now it's like Spider is home. So F Gunner.
Yeah, when it comes to Thug, I don't blame him because, like I said, if you in the game, supposed to be in the game and everything, and then you guys get indicted, from Georgia with the RICO and everything, and then all of a sudden, you want to speak and be weaseling out and everything. But to me, Young Thug, I would be upset. I would have been upset, but I want to be upset more because now you know who Gunner is and everything. You find out he's on a ride or die. He's more of like a weasel and everything. And to me, I would be upset. But if it would have came to that, if somebody would have weaseled, I said, okay, cool, that's fine. It's like now that you weasel yourself out with doing this type of things and everything. There's some things I never said he can't do with you no more and everything. If it comes to business and making music, making money, if we can make $1 million on a song, okay, cool. But anything else, nah, we're good. We're good, because you told me how you really are. It's you test, you already tested your loyalty out when you was in court and everything, and you definitely failed with that loyalty test. So I'm not, what Young Thug was saying, what he said, hey man, I'm with him on that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy too. And not only that, Jordan, I want to tell you too, it's actually like kind of breaking news. Trump called out the NFL for not selecting Shedeur Sanders at the first round pick.
I wanted to say that too. I forgot. I saw it, but I forgot to add it onto the NFL draft.
Oh yeah, but I was gonna tell you that. So Trump got involved. He said, "Wait, y'all didn't pick him? Nope. And there's nothing you can do about it because they did the same thing to Tom Brady or Brock Purdy. You know how the rules going on. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this Freestyle Friday. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Last topic on today's show. Sugar Bun said, what are we talking about? Pay attention. Go right ahead.
Exactly. Let's talk about this. So Jason Wilson, you guys know he's a writer and he's a very big writer, and also he has a karate class that he teaches in Detroit and everything.
Love him.
He talks and he definitely helps out young black men. So he talked about a story about how he got laughed at being a virgin, and so he had to do this to prove that he was a man, and really talk about the pressures of being a man. So go ahead, I can't play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
And feel like he has to sleep with a lot of women to feel like a man.
It's promoted. I mean, I remember when I lost my virginity, I was with my cousin. We were driving to the store. He says, hey, I'm going to stop by my girlfriend's house. And I believe I was, 16 at the time. We go in the house, and she has a little sister who was very cute. So he goes in the room, and he's having sex, and me and her little sister are talking. When they come out, we get in the car. My cousin's driving. He says, hey, did you have sex with her? I'm like, no. He says, did you kiss her? I'm like, no, I just met her. He was like, you a virgin? I'm like, I haven't had sex before. When we pull up into his house where all my uncles were, my cousins and my mother, he yelled out, hey, Jason's a virgin. The entire house erupted in laughter. So when I looked around at my mother, she was laughing. It made me angry because here it is. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was.
Why does a man feel like he has to sleep with a lot of women to feel like a man?
I had to just have sex with a woman that I don't care about for me to be validated as a man. But that's the culture. That's like the initiation into manhood. As soon as I got back to Detroit, I called a friend who knew a girl who liked me, and I went over the house because I knew I could have sex with her real quick and I can get this stigma up off of me. I didn't even care about her. I had no emotions. I did it because this was what I was taught as a man. You're not a man if you're faithful to one woman, and you're not a man if you're a virgin. So that day I lost my virginity, my mindset shifted. All you can be is strong, provide, or be promiscuous, and this is your identity. We hide behind the suits, the cigars, the cars, the jewelry, the watches. Inside that home, there's a man depressed, on the edge, and possibly suicidal. The way I didn't know I had to just have sex with.
Yeah, I mean, back in my day in high school, a lot of teens in high school that I know had experienced a lot of this and everything got laughed at because they was a virgin. So wasn't a virgin, they lose their virginity as young men as we should. So go ahead, Rodney, man. What's your take on this?
Not that, but shout out to Lord's White Protein that's in the
Protein,
building.
what's
Been a
good,
while,
baby?
man. Been a while, man. Great to see you,
gang
man.
is
Great to
coming
see
back
you.
today.
Yes, sir.
Great to see you. It ain't like everybody's on vacation. Everybody say I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to aspect of manhood, see, people finna realize, man, we deal with a lot. You know, they hold us accountable for pretty much everything because we are the patriarch, we are the leader when it comes to asking for relationship, jobs, you name it, everything. So we have a difficult challenge that we face each and every day. However, at the same time, you as a man, you are your own person, your own individual. It shouldn't matter what people tell you you should do. You have your own mind and the way you want to think and how you want to do things. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Shikabo say Ronnie is always wrong. Just Jay, whatever. go right ahead.
So I think that he opened up something that is rarely ever talked about in our community, where we have a very following culture. We all want to be accepted. So being accepted is being a part of the things that other people do. What he said is very accurate. As a man, you want to have a virgin to feel accepted with your friends. And people will look at you like, hey, you can't get no boom boom. So, you know what I mean? These guys will engage in acts to get sex and just to feel like, okay, I've crossed that rite of passage. And, you know what I mean? I'm a man now. I'm getting skins. You know what I mean? And we'll learn. And same thing goes for women. Women go through the same thing too. They also will give up their virginity because they feel like, hey, if you don't give it up, he might not stay with you or he might not love you. Shout outs to Mika.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like I said, back in that time when I was around the high school age and everything, I'm glad I wasn't pressed or anything like that. You know, if I lose it, I lose it and everything. But yeah, but it's you know, there are some, you know, uncles, fathers, even some women, you know, that at that time who've been like that. Hey, you know, if you don't lose your virginity at a certain age, you're not a man or anything like that. And you know, and it caused that young men to go out, have sex with them, and then the thing is, you might get that woman pregnant and everything. And then you get when that woman pregnant, that changed your life, you know, entirely, all that type of thing. So I know that, you know, here in 2025 and everything, you know, especially with Generation Z's and the Generation Alphas and everything, you know, they could really talk about stuff more with their, you know, with friends, family members, you know, with the millennials and everything, and talk about, you know, all these stigmas of being a man, you know, you only, you know, about, you know, if you cry, you know, you're not a man and everything. This, you know, that's, to me, that's, you know, we've seen that little change in that and everything. Also, you know, with these podcasters and talk about, you know, manhood and everything. Also, us too, when we talk about things like that, you know, we could change the narrative of, you know, how it really is to be a man and everything. You know, it's okay, you know, talk about your feelings. You know, it's okay to talk about your friends and how you're going through and everything, because a man goes through a lot. They really, really do. So it's good to see what Jason Wilson, you know, what he does with, you know, young black boys in Detroit and also write books, for young black men, to change the narrative how a man supposed to be and everything of protect, provide, all type of stuff. I get all that, but there's other things that are necessary that needs for a man. And so with that being said, I just hope that well, not hope, but I know that we're going to the right place of, as more young men can really talk about their feelings to other men and also older men, we can see a change that when it comes to if you lose your virginity, if you didn't lose your virginity at 16, 17, or 18, we're not gonna laugh at you. It is what it is with that. You can wait wherever you want to lose it, wherever you want to lose it. So, do we might still have some of that? Laugh at people at if you lose your certain days, yeah. But I just hope that we will get better in that, in each generation that goes on.
And I heard that, but also this is Hakeem. This is actually updating news. Gilbert Arenas' son, what we talked about yesterday, Elijah Arenas, he came out of a coma.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
So he's out of a coma. So he is doing well. And people didn't realize what happened to him. He was involved in a terrible car accident, but now he is doing well according to his rep. Mm-hmm. So that's good news, man. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that was watching us all across the board, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Shout out to Just Jay. The lovely Just Jay is back and doing well. She's back in the building. Shout out to Sugar Bomb. That's also in the building. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Next Level. That's also in the building. Shout out to the lovely Mimi, co-host of the Shiesty Adventure, who is also in the building. Also, guys, go and check out that great trivia game Mimi did over there on the Shiesty Adventure, which was last week. Y'all need to go and check it out. That was a great trivia game. Y'all don't know where y'all missed out. I think that was one of the best shows, I think, this year. Shout out to her. She worked extremely hard on it, and they did their thing. They did their thing. Shout out to them. They are doing their thing. Not only that, guys, don't go anywhere, because right there is going to lead you guys right over to the Shiesty Adventure. They got that thing whooping up right now on their Freestyle Friday. Not only that, but shout out to also Lord Spike Protein. Great to see you, big dog. Great to see you. It's been a while. I'm glad that you're doing well and you're on and you're popping. Not only that, but also Hakeem, shout out to that new subscriber you just said right now. What? You know that girl or what?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Mika. I know her a long time.
Mika. And shout out to Mika too. Thank you so much for y'all for joining in. We really do greatly appreciate you. You don't understand. Like, we like to see new faces, especially in the chat. Because, some people, they watch us from the cloud. But when you drop in, pop out, we really do love to see that. And we will always give you guys a shout out. Shout out to those watching us on Instagram. Shout out to the 10 people right now watching us on Rumble. Shout out to those watching us on X, Twitch, and also Kick. Lucky for us, we're not banned. Hey, Hakeem and Jordan, Kanye West went live. And just right after, he got banned. In 7 minutes.
That's
hey, that junk is crazy. What you need to do is, Kanye West, create your own app, your own network,
or
you are a billionaire,
or get a couple of billionaires and buy TikTok. Buy TikTok, Kanye. Get some investors. Buy TikTok.
I don't understand these men. Yeah. You are a billionaire. Yeah. Let me get $1 billion. Actually, let me get $1 billion. Well, I will have my own network. Like, what do you? See, that's the thing people feel. See, one thing I get Dave Ramsey a lot of credit. Dave Ramsey say one thing they can never shut me down because I own my own network.
That is true. Ramsey solution.
Exactly. Now that, guy, it's very important that you go to Chaos Culture Radio description. In the description where you can find the Chaos Culture Radio store, and it's also in the chat as well where we have the Chaos Culture Radio T-shirt, the hat, the coffee mug, you name it, even the sweater. It's all in the Chaos Culture Radio store. Hakeem is also working on new gear, so guys, be on the lookout for that. Also, guys, it's also very important that you go to Chaos Culture Radio Community tab, because in the Community tab where you can find Prince Hakeem book, Black Love, and also his new book is out now. Hakeem,
yeah,
what is it called again?
Raising Kings, Empowering Young Black Youth for the Next Generation.
So guys, Hakeem got, well, in total, well, except the other one, you literally have like what, 4 books in total?
4 books.
Or 3? 4 books.
It's 5 books, and we got one that's banned. Nakapenda.
So Hakeem, how many Hakeem, how many books you want to write in your lifetime? 30?
We about to go 30, man. We trying to give everything. I'm trying to give
30 for 30.
30 for 30.
Yeah, but guys, go ahead and check it out. Hakeem briefly talked about it on the last show, but guys, you could go and check it out. It ain't in the KL Culture Radio Community tab. And also check out Hakeem's album as well as AKA Broadway Fap. It's also out now as well. So guys, go and check it out. We got a lot of new things popping. We got more interviews coming. Be on the lookout. KL Culture Radio is going to be the biggest thing on the planet. Hakeem, Jordan, and I are working. You can see non-stop working. We gave you guys a promise. Say we're gonna work nonstop, and we're gonna make sure you guys are entertained, love, and also appreciated. Shout out to everybody that also contribute to the platform when it comes to aspect of your views, your like button, and also make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Because the problem is a lot of people are not getting that notification. Hit that notification bell and make sure to click all. No, I can't write 100 books. I might call him I'm not even gonna say the guy's name. I'm not gonna say the guy's name.
Yeah, Mika, I still do music. Mika, if you go, you gotta go on YouTube.
Yeah, go on YouTube. It's in the community tab. Our YouTube is the KL Culture Radio. Go over there and you'll check it out. It's in the community tab. I can't have music out. It's a great album. Me and Jordan already got a hard copy. You guys go ahead, enjoy yourself. It's a weekend. Wind down. Enjoy yourself. And make sure you guys are safe. Hakeem, you got the commercial ready and go?
I got the commercial. Let's go.
All right. Let's go.
Need a standout design? AIL Studios has you covered. Are you a small business owner in need of a logo? A writer looking for the perfect book cover? Planning a family reunion and need a custom t-shirt design? Or maybe you're a rapper or singer who wants artwork that truly elevates your music. If you can't find the design you're looking for, let me create something unique just for you. At AIL Studios, I bring your vision to life with custom graphic design services tailored to your needs. From sketch to final masterpiece, I'll guide you through every step of the process. Let's create something amazing together. My services include logo design, flyer design, invitations, poster design, business card design, music cover art, social media banners and profile pic, t-shirt design, tattoo design, stickers, book covers, postcards, newsletters, illustration design, children's books, character design, custom paintings of family portraits and pets, and creative consulting. For pricing and info, contact me at ailstudios202@gmail.com and let's get started.
And not only that, guys, if you guys want us to promote your businesses or anything, hit us up at Media Bums. It's also in the description, and we will promote you guys and we will let you guys know. We on the bigger and popular thing. And keep it in mind, guys, we on all the major platforms. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KL Culture Radio Freestyle Friday. We over and out. Peace.